Hi everyone. It's been a while since I've played or shown any footage of Magic Arena. Today is August the 5th of 2022 and I figured I would just show the red deck I've been using. As you can see, I've accumulated quite a few bits of gold ready for when standard rotate. But anyway, let me show you my deck that I've been making, that I've been using. It's called Red Stuffs because I don't have a very good ability to name decks. I never had to do this in the past. I sort of made them, so I call them things like Red Stuffs and Pauper Graveyard Dance and see, Goblins Everywhere is one of the default ones, and I made a version of that called Goblins in Some Places. Keeping the peace and keeping some peace. You know, just stuff like that. Anyway, Red Stuffs. So yeah, this is the deck I've been using quite a lot of, and it's been serving me well. I've been using this to just get my daily wins in. Obviously, sometimes I'm going to need to use other decks to do some of the daily quests. Like, say if something's like use white spells, then I can't use this deck here. But anyway, I'm just going to give a rundown of what it is and how I've been utilising it, and also the fact that standard will be rotating, so some of these cards will be going out of rotation, so I'm not going to be able to keep it up after when we get into September when the new set comes out. But as you can see, it's a pure mono red deck. Land base is just 22 mountains. Simple as that. No fancy extra types of land, although I suppose, maybe I could utilise an extra, maybe a colourless land or something. I don't know what I've got, but this really has just been a case of finding so many different types of evolving wilds, just utterly pointless. But yeah, I don't think any of these are going to be of any use to me. Anyway, so yeah, I've just been using 22 lands, and as you can see, the mana curve is pretty low. Lots of 2-drops, a few 1-drops, lots of 2-drops, and yeah, a few 4-drops there as well. But yeah, this has been serving me pretty well. It's very much a fast deck, as you'd expect from mono red. Let's start from the bottom end here. So one of my favourite cards in this deck is Fireblade Charger. For just 1 red mana, you got a 1/1 Goblin Warrior, which is standard. If it's equipped, it has haste, but my favourite part of it is that when it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. So the purpose of this mostly is to build up its power, get out early, build up its power, and just fight aggressively with it. The thing is, the enemy generally won't want to kill it, because if they do, then it's going to do extra damage to whatever I choose. So that's why we have all these equipment. So for example, Dueling Rapier here, I've only got 1 of these. I should also point out, by the way, that these cards are just ones that I had lying around in my collection. I haven't actually used any wild cards or anything like that, which is exactly how I played when I played Paper Magic. It's the exact same method, just what have I got, let's see what I can make out of this. But Dueling Rapier is very interesting, it's very useful. Its equip cost is 4, which is far too much for what it does, but the fact it's 1 red mana to bring out, that it automatically attaches itself to a creature, and it has flash, that's very useful. So Dueling Rapier, if I can, I'll get onto a Fireblade Charger, give it extra power, make its ability for when it dies more powerful. Similarly, Rabbit Battery, I've got 3 of these. It's a creature equipment thingamabobby, where it acts as a creature, just a 1/1 haste, very simple, but you can reconfigure it with just 1 red, attach it to something, hopefully this to power it up, the Fireblade Charger, and yeah, that does that. When it comes to my 2-drops, this is where most of my burn spells are. I have 1 Goro Goro, which I've never actually managed to use the second ability of this thing. The first ability, where 1 red can give creatures haste, that's very useful. If I can bring this out on turn 3, I can get it in an extra attack in. The The second ability there is only works if I control a modified creature. And there's a few ways to modify creatures in this deck. I've got quite a few equipments, and I've got an enchantment as well, one of the runes. So that can come in quite useful. But I've never actually got round to using it, I don't think. 5/5 red dragon spirit token with flying, that's good, but I've never really gotten round to using it. Hobgoblin Captain. Now, a 3/1, and if it's got pack tactics, so if you attack with creatures total power greater than 6, it gains first strike. That's useful. That actually gets triggered quite a lot because I am attacking a lot and I am powering up the power of things quite a lot. So that is quite useful. Kami's Flare. It's basically like a lightning strike on a creature or planeswalker, but then if you've got a modified creature, it deals 2 damage to that to their controller as well. Again, I generally like to use this when I've got a modified creature, but even if I don't, it's still pretty useful to get like the annoying things out of the way. So if they're playing that Prosperous Innkeeper or any like relatively small thing that will obviously combo off, like something that gains you life over time, or something that's like, say if someone's playing Prosperous Innkeeper, I know they're playing a life gain deck of some sort. So this will just, kill it outright if I need to, if it gets to that situation. Now, Light 'em Up on itself is not a great card. It's again, comparing it to something just like a basic lightning strike, it's pretty weak. It's only at sorcery speed, so you can't respond to anything with it. But it only deals 2 damage and to a creature or planeswalker, so that's pretty bad. Casualty 2, so you can sacrifice a creature with 2 power or greater to get its effect to happen again, which actually has worked out pretty well for me in some cases. I have actually gotten to a point where I've just saw 2 things I want to kill, or something with like 3 or 4 toughness that I just want to kill. I'll use it and it'll kill them, and I'll sacrifice my thing, and that's fine. Even better, if I can power one of these up and sacrifice that, then that's just going to do an extra hit. So again, it's just a way of comboing off and doing like extra damage at once. Rune of Speed. I've got 2 of these. This is pretty good. I like this. Mostly what I like about it is its card draw. Of course, it's got the extra power boost, again for my Fireblade Charger, but it does give me an extra card, which can be very useful because the thing is, this is a red deck, so your hand is going to get pretty empty pretty quickly. So to get another card in, it's just an extra bonus. And plus, this can enchant not just a creature but an equipment, of which there are a few. So like the Dueling Rapier, or the next one I've got here, the Scavenged Blade. Again, just a nice little boost to the power. Again, this is another thing I like to use on the Fireblade Charger if I can. Where is it? Yep, there it is. Just bring that out, instantly equip it to one of those Fireblade Chargers, gives it an extra 2 power. Again, it's an extra 2 power, and if it dies, then that means it's an extra 2 damage onto something. Next one, how do you pronounce this? Sokensan Smelter. I actually use the ability quite a lot here, so it's just a 2/2 for 2, so basic power level there. It's a goblin, which is going to become useful at some point, but its main ability is that at the beginning of combat, if you pay 1 mana, you can sacrifice an artifact, and then you get a 3/1 red construct artifact creature token with haste. That's good. A 3/1 with haste just out of nowhere, that does quite a bit of damage, and also that 3 power also contributes to the Hobgoblin Captain, helps to activate its pack tactic so it gets first strike. And quite often, if I use that, it might be... So for example, what can I use this on? Well, there's a few things I can use it on. The main thing I would use it on probably is the Dueling Rapier. If I equip the Dueling Rapier to something and it dies, like the Fireblade Charger, then this is just an equipment for 4 mana to give +2/+0, which is rubbish. So I can just... that is easy like fodder for the smelter to get that extra 3/1 creature. But I can also use it on the Rabbit Battery. And Dwarven Hammer as well, I can get to that in a moment. Thundering Rebuke. It's a sorcery, 4 damage to creature or planeswalker. Again, just like a lightning strike, apart from its sorcery speed, so it's a bit worse in that regard. Deals 4 damage, and you can't target players with it, but that's okay. I'm generally not too bothered about not being able to target players with these burn spells, because I don't know if any of these burn spells, well, yeah, Light 'em Up doesn't target creatures. Kami's Flare can, but it only does 2, but you need a target to hit other than the player. But this is still good for 4 damage. There's quite a few things that will just wipe out, and it works on planeswalkers, so that's good. This is a card I'm really interested in, the Demon Bolt. Now this is instant, so this is better than the Light 'em Up and the Thundering Rebuke in that way. It does 4 damage to a creature or planeswalker. Again, not targeting the player, but that's okay. But what I like mostly about this is that it's got that foretell cost. So with foretell, you can pay 2 mana during your turn to play it face down to foretell it, and then later on, in another later turn, you can play it for its foretell cost, which is just 1 red. So this is really good if I've got. So say if I get to turn 2 and there's nothing that there's nothing worth playing. So say Goro Goro here. I can use that on turn 2, but I can't take advantage of it using haste. Or say if there's no creatures to target, I don't want to use this Scavenger, I don't want to use that if I don't have a creature out. But the Demon Bolt itself, it's something to use on turn 2 if there's nothing else that's feasible. And I know I've got lots of 2-drops, but a lot of them are rather context dependent. So I can use that on turn 2, and it's right, I've got that to the side, and then I can just for 1 red mana on a future turn just blast something. Got 2 of these Dwarven Hammers. I do like this. This has been quite enjoyable, and it's been quite useful as well. So it's just like an equipment that gives something +3/+0 and trample, which is itself alright. It's again the power for the Fireblade Charger. It's especially good, and even something with more power. Yeah, that's great. But also you can pay an extra 2, so it's like a kicker cost in a way, and you will create a 2/1 Dwarf Berserker with this thing attached to it automatically. Now what's good about that is that that's a way of getting the Dwarf Berserker out, but I can also use, where's the thing that I have to sacrifice an artifact? Yeah, this smelter here. If I can actually get this out and I can smelt it, so that I've actually still gotten some good use out of it because I've gotten the Dwarven Berserker out of it. Say I use the Dwarf Berserker and I attack with it, do a bit of damage. The Berserker dies because it's only got one toughness. I'll still have this hammer, but I won't be as interested in equipping it maybe. So I've got some use out of it, and I can still sort of get that 3/1 construct. Witty Roastmaster. This was kind of just to fill a space, I suppose, but it still comes in useful. So whenever I bring out another creature, it does 1 damage directly to each opponent. That's decent. It's it does its thing, and if I can get that out earlier rather than later, that's pretty decent. Although this is something that it's a bit of a removal magnet, especially for a deck like this. It's something that would attract all the destroy spells and exile and all that, because it's the one that builds up over time. But then so is this, the Hobgoblin Bandit Lord. I've only got 1 of these, but again, goblins I control get +1/+1, and that's good. I've got actually quite a few goblins here, so so you got that smelter there. What else? This Hobgoblin Captain. That's a goblin. Powering that up is always good. Yeah, but that second ability, pay a red and tap, and it deals damage equal to the number of goblins that enter the battlefield under my control this turn. I think I've used that once. This is not like a dedicated goblin deck where I'm bringing out loads of goblin tokens, so that's where this type of card would really shine. So that's not happening. But so I've not really used that ability. I think I've used it once, but mostly I like it just for its, powering up with the goblins. Hulking Bugbear. This is always nice. Just a 3/3 haste for 3. Just, you know, you lay on the pressure a bit early, then you can bring this out on turn 3, and it's just that extra layer of pressure. I like it. Famished Forages. Yeah, so it's just the second ability where you pay 2 in a red to discard a card and draw a card. I think that's called rummaging in common MTG lingo. I've used that like when I've been looking, like not looking, but I've been like, so I've just got a mountain. It's not doing me any good. I've used it like a couple of times, but not much. But that second ability, where if I deal damage during the turn and I bring it out, I get an extra 3 red mana for the turn. Oh, well, just for the phase, I guess. This has been useful for me. That's just allowed me to just get some damage in and then just bring out some extra cards. It's been good. This thing's a bit of a flexible one. It's a goblin and it's an artifact, so it satisfies the needs of other creatures. When it comes out, it deals 2 damage to a target. That's also good. It's got reach, which, to be honest, I haven't really utilised much. This deck doesn't really deal with flying creatures very well, aside from just using burn spells and killing them. But that channel cost, the one in the red, it's a good way. It gives the card a bit more flexibility, so that, say if you've got not enough, like you can't get the mana to bring it out, but you need to deal with something, it's useful. Although I've always generally, like, I've mostly used it, like hardcast it for its 4 mana. Yeah. So that is this deck, and this has been, it's not been fantastic, but it's worked for me. So I figured I would show a couple of games, at least, and that sound, if you probably heard that was a Facebook notification. Don't worry, that was on my end, not your end. Well, I'll close. Oh, there it is again. Right. So let's play some standard ranked on it. I think I've got 3 more wins. I've got to do to get my first 4 daily wins. Right, so this is a good opening hand. See, I can bring out the Fireblade Charger, and then these, I can foretell them and get them ready. And I've got 3 mountains. So this deck is going to, I'm going to use up these cards pretty quickly. Right, so first thing, mountain, Fireblade Charger. Of course I can't power it up as it stands. Yeah, so like they've got no viable targets as of yet, so I'll just foretell that. So that's something like that I can do in advance. Oh, what's that done? Oh, okay. Well, they're making my they're making that cost life to add mana. That's an interesting enchantment, that. Something to hurt me a bit. Anyway, let's foretell another Thunderbolt, Demon Bolt. So I don't want to bring up my Dwarven Hammer until I can get 5 mana available, so I can use its ability. But ideally, if they could not bring any creatures out, that would be ideal. Because I would like... Oh, I suppose... Nah, that still wouldn't work. I'd have to use one of my Demon Bolts to kill it. And that would leave me with two little... Oh, oh well, they're going to... Ah, okay. Right. So... I'm just going to go directly to combat. I'm going to take the 1 damage from that mountain that they've enchanted. I'll bring out the famished forages. Oh wait. Never mind. Syntoplasm. Oh well, I'll just bring this thing out. Oh, I was going to say what you're using that for, but yeah, you can just use that to tap for colourless. Oh, that's interesting. Of course. I mean, if I get more mountains out, then that effect isn't really going to damage me. I suppose that's something you could use on yourself, isn't it? Oh, they're going to do it on another one. Okay. Yeah, I suppose that's something you could use on your own lands if you really want to get the extra colours. Of course, they use it on me because I'm only using the one. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, let's bring that out. And obviously I can't use its ability because I don't have any mana left. Or are they controlling it for the turn? Okay. What did they do? Right, well, okay, whatever. Let's bring this out, and then just attack. See, they're not playing much in terms of creatures, so these demon bolts might not get round to doing much, but it is worth pointing out that I do have 2 of these foretold. I mean, granted, they've got like a much larger hand size. I do have these farmaging forages, but what's going on with my mouse? I do have these, so I can, yeah, see. Let's do that again. Another one of those hulking bugbears out. But if they bring a creature out, I can probably deal with it. Okay. When this bunch to the bow. Alright. So what gives that card that effect? I don't know. Let's just kill it with one of my demon bolts. I don't know where that ability came from because it wasn't a part of the... I don't know. Right. Right. Yeah, see, I can bring that out. And I'll get 3 mana, but there's not much I can do with it. But what I will do is I will do what I said I've only done once before, and try to cycle this out. Right, okay. So far those enchantments haven't done much bad to these lands, because I have just been using them for colourless, it seems. But they need to, I mean, they probably will deal with these. Right, what does that do? Gain control of target creature until the turn and have that creature. If it gets hit until the turn. If you control a wolf or werewolf, scry 2. Okay, yeah, you can do damage to me. Whatever. It's 4 damage. I could demon bolt it, but I want it. I want it back. So what else are you going to do? Oh, okay. I see. That makes sense. Take control of my thing and then take control of my thing and then use something that requires you to sacrifice a thing that you control. That makes sense. Crit 3, 1/1. They gain haste. When it dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. Okay. Well, they can. That's going to work in their favour quite a bit. I can't get the pack tactics on there because I can't get my creatures out. I don't want to kill it. Maybe if they can attack and we can do sort of like a bit of an no, because they'll still kill this. Right. And they're going to sacrifice it. They're going to use the thing to sacrifice it, aren't they? I'll take the 4. Right, come on. Sacrifice it. Yep. Oh, and you can deal 1 damage. Oh. Yeah, I do believe I've lost this. I can't, like, if yeah. I've lost, okay. Yeah, I've got to do 3 more wins for my daily wins. Right, see, this is I know I'm low on lands here, but still, this I would take this. I can bring the Fireblade Charger out, and then next turn I can attach this to it. So it's alright. I mean, I'll see how it goes. Okay. Because if I don't get a... If I don't get another... I won't do that yet. I'll just bring this out. If I don't get another mountain, it's going to be a bit awkward. Jeez, you know, this would be terrible if I start off this by talking about like the deck and everything. Is it like an electric line? Oh, I guess it is. Yeah, it would be awful if I started off this video by talking about this deck. It's done really well for me and then I just lose a lot of games. Roll eruption. Yeah, I had one of those in this deck originally, I think. Okay. Well, let's see if this can get me a mountain. It can. Very nice. Yeah, they can't declare blockers. See, it's only because this has got flash that I can actually wait until they get to this point, but they've got nothing they can do. Unless they had like a 0 mana flash thing, that like then that's... I don't think any of those exist in standard, at least. But this is good. Oh, are they thinking about which land to use? Thinking there might be a chance that they don't actually have. Oh, they do. So one of those slow lands. Are they called slow lands? Where they enter untapped if you've got so many lands out already? Yeah. And 4 damage to you. Because you killed that thing. Some of these things do have weird sound effects when they bring them out. I think it's to do... because I think this is the part of the Suite of New Capenna, so it's one of the particular... like, groups, I don't know what they're called. Oh, that thing. I think that... didn't that card get banned in Historic or something? Yeah, see? Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Anyway, I'll bring one of these out. And I shall foretell my Demon Bolt. I mean, I could have brought out my Gorogoro and give it haste, and then went in for 2. Suppose I could have done that. Yeah, see, I'm stuck on 3 lands. But that's not too bad. For a red deck like this, being stuck on a low amount of lands isn't a huge downside. We're gonna kill it. Yeah, okay, 1 damage straight to you. Little cantrip. Right, well, gonna bring this out for its normal cost. Like I say, I usually do. I usually bring that out for its regular cost, but it's an extra 2 damage. Like it's an extra instant 2 damage, I guess. So yeah, I mean, if they bring out a big creature now, I can Demon Bolt it. But they're not doing that, at least not now. I can Demon Bolt it. I can get this out and give it haste, get an extra 4 damage in onto the opponent, see how this goes. They've got an extra mountain there. I don't even know what card. Oh, they're using that again. Gives them a lot of choice. Right, C04, does this... because it also has 3 spell per number of... okay, well, see, I can say goodbye to you, for example. I've got 1... right, okay. I could equip that if I wanted to, but I don't. Said I want to bring this out. They've got something, because they've got like time between the turns, so they've got something that they can do. I'm going to give my creatures haste. basically just gives that haste. So they've probably got like a 1 mana thing that they can do. Right, just need to get in for this last 5 points of damage. I know it might sound like oh, I'm doing really well and I'm winning and all that, but to be honest, they've got I mean that seems powerful. Right. So what does that do? Whenever you cast the first instant or sorcery spell each turn, exile an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. Okay. Yeah. That is a lot of madness is going to be going on. No, I might actually, depending on how this goes. Oh, actually no. I might be able to win this. Hold on. You give creatures haste for the turn. Yeah, that's fine. And then in combat, I'll pay the 1 and sacrifice this thing. Yeah, see, they've called good game. And I'll attack. Very nice. See, that's the deck working. See, little like some. I think a big error that people make. I think one big error that people make when they're starting to get into Magic, and I made this error for a long time, and it's a very bad habit, and it's very hard to get out of, is designing a deck around the best case scenario. Like, you see cards, you think, oh, it would be amazing if this thing can work with this thing, and this thing can trigger this effect and all that. And it's like, yeah, it's true, but will it? Will that happen? Probably not, because they're going to be stopping you. They're going to be thwarting your efforts with like removal spells and putting creatures in your way and all that. So you can't design around the best case scenario. Yeah, you can't design around the best case scenario. Anyway, I captured 2 land hand, which like I say is normal for this deck. Whoa, that did a big flash. Alright. That would have been nice to have. I mean, they know what's in my hand. So, they know I have Thundering Rebuke. I mean, they didn't know that when they cast the spell, but they know it now. So back into my hand it goes. Of course, I can't actually use it now, so it's, I mean, got a bit of a delay, I suppose. Yeah. Oh, I don't think I've seen that one. These zombies with Decayed, they don't actually... I don't actually mind them, to be honest. Attacks it against 10 30 dollars a turn. Defending loses 2 life. Right. Well, I'm going to bring this out. Go attack with both of them. That's going to get first strike. Okay then. So next turn, plan is... okay. Well, once again, they already saw my hand. I can kill that. Yeah, okay. That's just a way of slowly burning out life, I guess. I suppose they can do that. I suppose that's a way of going about it, but you know what? I am going to bring this out, and I'm going to get that card back, thank you very much. And I am going to attack with everything, because this is an aggressive deck. That gets first strike, because I've got the power going on there. So I'm going to get through with both of them. Yeah, see, there is a possibility that oh, 2 whites. Okay. Attack with everything. I think I've got this, to be honest. Unless, I mean, they might have a trick up their sleeve, or maybe I'm misinterpreting this. I haven't really gone into it. Whenever creatures dealt damage by white this turn, create a tap. Okay. Ah, no, okay. That's fine. Well, I can get this out. That gives me 3 mana. And with that, I'll bring this out. And I'll shoot one of those whites in the face with a Thundering Rebuke. Right. Well, I'm in a pretty advantageous position here. Unless they've got like a board wipe or something, there's not going to be much, I think, that they can do to protect themselves, because they've only got 2 life left. Ah, but they're going to gain some life, aren't they? Well, there you go. They saw that it was inevitable. Very good. There's my 3rd win of the day. Did 1 more to get my 4 wins. Tarox. I think this might be the last game that I do. See, this is a decent hand to start with. I can yeah. See, I can really like get some pressure out early, so oh, even better, first draw. I think, ah, hello. They're saying hello, so I'll say hello back. That's my thing. They say hello, I say hello back. It is kind of good that like the chat options are very limited in a way, that they can't like spam stuff. Oh yeah, actually let's get the rune of speed on this thing. Giving haste doesn't really matter, but you know, it's an extra +1/+0, and it draws me a card. And anything to power this thing up is nice. So yeah, next turn I think I'll bring up the witty roast thingamabobby. Roastmaster. Witty Roastmaster. It's like... Is that like a play on words? Oh, I think it is, you know. Oh wow. I didn't know. That's quite funny, that. It's like they're on a stage and they're using like a fire like device or something on someone in the audience. It's like, oh, they're roasting them. I hadn't thought of it like that. Anyway, I could use my Demon Bolt. I don't have any more lands, but no, I'm just going to bring this out and just pile on some extra damage. Oh, are they behind in lands? I think they are. I do like showcasing. I do like if I make a good deck and I showcase it, and it's like, look, this is worked out for me. I'd rather it be from. Oh, I can win. Hold on. Unless they've got a trick up their sleeve, I can just win now. Demon Bolt, you. And then attack, unless they can block or something. No, okay. I think that worked out. Anyway, yeah, what I was going to say was, I don't like it when I want to like showcase a deck. If my opponent just can't get lands out, and they're struggling, it's sort of like, I like the fact that I'm winning, but it's also a case of I'm not really showing the deck when I do that, am I? Anyway, yeah, so that was just been a quick video just to show, well, I say quick, it's been like nearly 45 minutes. That's just been to show this red deck that I've been using, red stuffs as I call it, because I'm not good at naming things. Actually, before I go, I will show just want to make like a comment on something. Now, I'm not interested in playing like Explorer or Historic or anything like that. At least not for now, not for a while at least. But I have noticed they're selling some cards in the Explorer anthology, and I was looking through this, and some of these cards are giving me nostalgia from when I used to play Paper Magic. Hanger Backwalker, I know someone who used that quite a bit. I think I never did. Like Supreme Verdict takes me back, because I remember just having that used on me. I remember Siege Rhino, that was a big deal when that came out. But Elvish Mystic here, just a very simple 1 mana 1/1 taps for a green. That was like when I had my first proper game of Magic that wasn't like my very first proper game of Magic that wasn't like me just learning, just like, you know, me trying to play properly and, you know, for the sake of winning rather than the sake of trying to learn. Although I suppose it's always trying to learn things, isn't it? But hopefully you know what I mean. This was the first card I used, and it served me well. So this Elvish Mystic has a soft spot for me. But yeah, like Titan Strength, Battle Ice Hoplite, Favoured Hoplite, Searing Blood, that was a good card. And also Ensoul Artifact and the Darksteel Citadel, really neat combo there. Ensoul Artifact, you enchant an artifact, it becomes a 5/5 creature. And Darksteel Citadel, it's just an artifact land, but it's indestructible as well. So you just turn 2, 5/5 indestructible. It was either sealed or it was a draft, but I actually managed to get on one of this combo off the Ensoul Artifact and the Darksteel Citadel, and it was good. It was really neat. Anyway, do we not got the profile? Anyway, that's going to be it for today. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.